Sorry, Ralph. Sorry I'm late.
Nice of you to show up.
Yeah, shouldn't be late as the host, should I? That was a lot of traffic this morning, but we're going to fix that. Today, I want to talk about, you presented at the North East Parking Show.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell me a bit more about that and what we're doing in that space?
Yeah, so North East Parking, that was where we were sort of celebrating the works that we've done in Lichfield, which is a car park guidance system that we've installed. So over in Lichfield, they're going through a big phase of regeneration at the moment.
Yep.
And with all these regeneration projects, you've got to break it down before you build it back up.
Of course.
And one of the things which is being broken down is the largest multi-storey car park in Lichfield city centre.
Okay.
So
Nice and easy then.
yeah, horrible old building. It was past its time. And that meant that there was going to be a lot of parking spaces being displaced and a lot of people going, I don't know where to park now. That's where I've always parked.
Yeah.
So what we needed to do was start to understand how well their car parks around Lichfield are being used, where there's capacity, and then how do we redirect people to kind of make the most of that availability. And the multi-storey, it turns out, was never really at capacity anyway. But it was one of those things that everyone goes, well, I always drive there, always park there, so that's where I'm going to park.
Yeah.
So we started capturing data. We installed some sensors at around 7 car parks in Lichfield and started to understand occupancy levels, started to understand how they're being used, how long people are staying for, and that enabled some informed decisions to be made around basically, yeah, we can knock this down and it's not really going to have a massive impact. People will have the perception that it's having a big impact, but it's really not. So to support that and to make sure that we mitigated any additional congestion by people driving around looking for spaces, we installed some full matrix variable message signs.
Yep.
So these signs will now say, Lombard Street has 14 spaces or Bird Street has 400 spaces, whatever it might be. And it will also then show a graphic for it's straight ahead, it's off to the right, it's off to the left.
Yep.
Most importantly, it will also then say if it's full, and it will also let you know whether there's any blue badge parking availability. So if you're a blue badge user, that's where I'm heading next. So that's the car park, there's availability, I'm going over there. So that was all great. That was kind of the foundation, if you like, to kind of setting the system up, setting the network up to kind of guide people about where to park.
Yep.
What we then started to understand is how these car parks are being used, and there's amount of short stay, long stay car parks on the network. We wanted to understand, are the short stays being used as short stays, or actually are people parking there for longer than they should?
Of course, yeah.
Are people using the long stays for long stay? Are they in the right place? So Lichfield actually made some bold decisions to reallocate some short and long stay car parks to try and make sure that people were parking in the right places on the network, making sure that, if you are using a short stay car park, it's a really quick walk to the shops or, for popping in, doing whatever. And if you're there all day, you're parking in the appropriate place, it's a 2 or 3 minute walk, you're not really being that put out by not being right in the centre. So that's what they were kind of doing. They then wanted to make some even more bold changes to the tariffs.
Okay.
So parking tariff changes. Now, obviously, everyone's very sensitive about that sort of topic. So we needed to make sure that when the tariff changes were introduced, we could understand, is it actually displacing people? Are people getting used to it? Are we seeing the adoption that we'd like to see? So that's been fantastic and really well supported. And we've now got a really nice, smooth running network of kind of car park systems. We're about to evolve that a step further as well. And that's the next project that we're working on.
Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Oh, go on then.
Can you treat us?
So, obviously, I don't want to speak too boldly for the client, but what our ambitions are is to start monitoring blue badge bays on an individual bay basis, as well as EV bay availability. Yeah. So, really, that's the next step in informing drivers as to where there's capacity. So, currently, we're looking at a car park, rather holistically and going, okay, there's spaces and there's blue badge bays here. We're not telling you explicitly if there's a blue badge available, parking space available, but we're telling you that's where they are. Yeah. So we're now saying, okay, let's put these these new parking sensors that we've got.
I think the assistant has come in again with a little lovely one.
Upon demand there. So these sensors are fantastic. So we're just kind of surface mounting these, really super simple to install. And that will tell us explicitly if someone is parked in that bay.
Just one in each parking bay.
One in each parking bay. And what we can do then is go, right, how long are they staying there for? What's the duration of stay?
Yeah.
And what's the throughput? How many vehicles per day have parked in that exact parking space? So we can start to understand how this infrastructure is being used. So all these do, they kind of sit on the surface there under that vehicle. The vehicle parks over the top and it goes, yep, someone's here, occupied, and we collect that data. So that now means we can say 100% that bay is available or it's occupied.
Yeah.
So we can extend the guidance system to go, right, if you're in an EV and you're looking for someone to charge, there's no point going to the car park where there's loads of capacity for spaces but no charging bays available. You want to go straight to the place where there's availability.
Definitely.
So this will now support that. So our idea is to kind of extend the existing monitoring network, kind of go up a level, if you like, put these types of sensors in those kind of special use bays, blue badge bays, EV parking bays, maybe even loading bays as well. So we can then say, right, this is where you can go and park. But it's all well and good using our existing kind of full matrix signs for that, which is great. They're really well placed around the city. But we need to do a bit more. And, you know, dare I say, younger people will live in a sort of a digital world. But, you know,
I know what you're talking about.
now you'll be able to go on an app or you'll be able to go onto the Lichfield City website and see where that availability is.
Yeah.
So all of the data that's coming into our Insight data platform where, you know, the parking managers are using that to understand levels of usage, occupancy, trends and all that sort of stuff. That's now fully integrated into their website through our API layer. Don't ask me what that stands for. And application programming interface, maybe something. I don't know whether our technical wizards
We can put it somewhere on the screen, I'm sure, but our technical guy might come in.
You were right. Well done.
Yeah, there you go then.
Bonus points for that.
If head of technical sales tells you you're right, then you're right.
Take that as a win.
Yeah.
So, therefore, any data that's coming into our platform can be integrated into other things. You know, much the same way that we do integrated transport data with the likes of the Welsh Government and bringing in congestion data and transport data, flow data. In the parking world, we're trying to kind of support these informed decisions. So we can now publicise bay availability. So if you're driving in from out of town, you know, right, I'm heading here. This is where there's parking availability. Before you get there, you can check. You know, potentially we can integrate into the national parking platform. So then it becomes really universal about how you sort of navigate around and how you sort of go to these places. But likewise, as you drive into the city, you can go, oh, on the big signs that are there now that look fantastic, by the way, there's no spaces there anymore. So although you kind of had an idea in your head as to where you're going, the signs are there as a kind of a last line of defense to go, no, we're full now. Head over here, please. So that's kind of what we're doing in Lichfield. So it's kind of supporting their investment choices in car parks. It's making sure that the driver experience, which is really important, is as smooth as it can be. You know, they want tourist traffic, they want seasonal traffic, they want lots of people to come and visit Lichfield. Fantastic architecture, and you know, it's a really nice place to go and visit. So you get a lot of new users on the network who might not know where to park. So you want to make sure that when they're coming along to Christmas markets and things like that, you drive into the city centre, you know where you're going, you know where there's availability. That means you're not driving around for hours looking for a space.
Exactly.
You're driving exactly where you want to go, and you know there's availability. So it reduces congestion, obviously helped cut emissions for those non-EV drivers in the city centre. Yeah, and they're ultimately getting the most out of their assets that they're investing in as a car park. So yeah, that's kind of what we're doing in Lichfield. Hopefully we can support them with the expansion of that network, which is looking really nice. And obviously we can then roll that out to other places in the UK as well.
Further. It sounds very interesting, Ralph. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on again. I really apologise for being late. Our assistant wants to say something.
Just want a question. Is that okay?
Of course.
What's that tech called then? What's the tech that you use to provide this data to Lichfield?
What our lovely little sensors here.
Yeah. It was more that platform you mentioned. What is...
So, yeah, the heart of kind of everything that we do when it comes to kind of data-driven solutions is our Insight platform.
Yeah.
So that's kind of our cloud-based data analytics platform. It takes in data from roadside sensors. It also powers all of the messages that are going out on roadside signs. And that's developed in-house by our software team in Milton Keynes, which is great. So we've got about 12, 15 developers working on that platform on a daily basis. We're making sure that the interface is as nice to use as possible, because there's no point having data if you can't get your hands on it nicely.
Very true.
And then obviously we kind of link that into all manner of different things. So it could be Clearview roadside assets, it may be third-party roadside assets, or third-party data sources.
Yeah.
And we bring that all together. So hopefully that answers your question there.
I think, Ash, next time you can sit here.
Backseat drivers.
Yeah, tell me about it. We can do it. Anyway, thank you, Ralph. That's perfect. It sounds very interesting. I know you've got a meet and greet later, so I really appreciate your time for coming in.
No worries.
Thanks so much.
Cheers.